And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, March 16th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. We welcome you to our program here on a Thursday. It would have been a frosty morning, I think, but it got a little cloud came in overnight. And if your car is outside this morning and there's no frost there, I guess that's something to be thankful for. But anyway, we welcome you to our program presented by Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. We've got Paul Tubbs here this morning. We've got Ronnie Kelly. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I know basketball, sports is always on your mind, and today's the day that, I guess, other than the play-in games, the big dance really starts.
That's kind of the spring kickoff generally when you see the basketball tournament and then baseball's getting kicked off. And days get longer. Golf clubs come out a lot more during the day, so it's all a good thing.
Yeah, you got another hour to play golf now, too.
I do.
Ronnie Kelly, how are you?
Fine. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good to have you as always. Ronnie, of course, is in sales at Bates Ford. Been doing it for 36 years at that same location.
Yes, sir.
Well, F-150 is going well?
F-150 is going well. And again, we do have some great interest rates on the F-150s. So if you come down to Bates Ford and talk to one of our friendly sales staff members, and they can give you all the updates on so many rebates that we have on every vehicle. In some vehicles, we have $3,000 rebate and 0%. And that's a great thing because right now, interest rate at banks is pretty high, and Ford Credit gave some good interest rates. And this is truck month.
And that R word is a good word when it's rebates.
Yes, rebates and 0% interest for selected vehicles.
Well, what's on your mind this morning, Paul?
One thing during truck month, they did come out with a 2.7% interest rate on the F-150, which is really good with the rates being in the 7s and 8s most of the time right now with really good credit. But they did come out with they're trying to push that in, also rebates. So we do have a lot of pretty F-150s. I went down there yesterday. A friend of mine was looking and called me about a truck, and I went down there and looked. And, well, we got some King Ranches and some trimmer trucks, and we got some STX, so we've got a pretty good selection. Our new inventory is starting to get in a lot better shape, so if you've got something that you're looking for right now is a good time to come look.
Well, I guess, and Ronnie, you can answer this, the better the selection that you have, maybe the more likely you're going to find the person's going to find what they want, and you're more likely to make a sale.
Yes, sir, and that's the great thing because, and the inventory the way it is right now, when people come in, and we're going to have something that they want, you know. And if we don't have it, it's a possibility that we can get it.
Yeah. Well, you do a lot of things at Bates Ford, and selling new and pre-owned cars and vehicles is just one of them. It's a big one, but it's not. You do a lot more.
Yeah, our service department's a backbone of the dealership, in my opinion. You know, that's kind of where I came up through the back end, but you know, we stay covered up, and one of the issues we're having is that we stay so busy that we need a bigger facility there. That's why we're building over off Franklin Road. Me and Tony had a little meeting last week, went over, and we're in progress. So everything's go. We went and looked. The walls are up. Actually, like you said, when you cross over the bridge, Hartman, when you cross over the interstate, you can just look to your right and see the facility going up. It's going to be really pretty. We're very excited. The actual showroom will face the road, but the front, when you come off Franklin Road, will also look like a front. So it's kind of a double front, and we like that aspect of it.
Well, you like that, and I like the fact you're going to have much more space to get the job done.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue we have. We love that, nobody likes that place any better than me where we are right now on 1673 West Main, because I live just back there behind the dealership and play golf just there behind it. So it's kind of neat for me because I can stay in my little 3-mile circle, but I'm going to have to venture out of that circle and cut across town here next year.
It'll be a 5-6 mile circle probably.
Yeah, we're going to have to expand it a little.
Well, the cheapest oil change in town, we try to mention that every week. You still got up to 5 quarts for $34.95?
Yep, 5 quarts, $34.95. That's on most vehicles. I do say there's some people that come in with Nissans or Toyotas or other off brands that take full synthetic. We always try to put what goes into the vehicle. So we're not going to just put the blended synthetic in a vehicle that takes full. So there is some vehicles that do take more expensive, but generally most all Ford, Chevys, American-made vehicles that we can do that $34.95, and there is some imports, but some of the other ones do take full synthetic. We also meter beat anybody's price on tires. There's rebates going on tires right now. We have people call all the time. You don't have to come down. You're welcome to give us a call. We got a little tire sales tool website on Ford. You can either give us the size or the make and model of your vehicle, and we can give you a quote right there on the spot. That quote includes mount, balance, installation. Once you buy a set of tires, we'll give you lifetime rotation. And as always, our batteries, and I always remind you every week, you're my testament. We can beat anybody's price on batteries. I had a customer the other day give me a call, and they had a battery was $197, and ours was $149.95. Our batteries always have the best warranty, 3-year free replacement, 100-month warranty.
Well, all of this at Bates Ford, and one of these days when we come on, I'm going to say, I'm going to mock you. I'm going to say, this is Paul at Bates Ford. We got specials. You do a good job.
See, I always tell Ronnie when I tell him we got to go tomorrow, we got to say, well, hello, welcome to the Cedar City. So I can mock you too. So,
Ronnie, you can quickly have the last word.
Yeah, so if you don't see something on our lot, go to our website, TornabakeFord.com. If you have a helicopter that you want to turn into cash, bring it down. Paul will be very well interested in it.
I can see you in a helicopter.
yeah, I might be a good way to get across town.
Well, y'all have a great week. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Thank you.
Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon, the dealer to trade for anything it don't eat. Well, my guest is, I think, out in the hall, but he's about to come in, and we've got a special guest this morning. You can sit wherever you want. Right there is fine. We've got Lee Clark here with the City of Lebanon, and let me just tell you about Mr. Lee Clark. Recently, at the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce Awards celebration, he got the Public Servant of the Year award, and I want to start out there this morning. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with this, there are a number of awards that are given, but the Public Servant of the Year is an award given to an individual who embodies the true spirit of public service through faithfully discharging the responsibilities of their office or position of public service, and whose accomplishments can be viewed as models of public service within and outside the work environment. Lee Clark, that's saying a lot about you, I think.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning. I know you were surprised. You told me you were.
Absolutely humbled, surprised. I don't know exactly the how to describe it, but it's not just me. I sort of say the group of people that I work with at the City of Lebanon, they're all in on all the things that we do. I'm just one person.
Well, but the work that you and your team have done has been noticed and recognized, and I'm just glad to add you. I don't get to talk to everybody that gets an award, but as many of them as I can, I have out here, and I'm really glad to have. To be honest, I sort of put a bug in Mayor Bell's ear not too long ago to get you out here. But I wanted to do that. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of things this morning and probably go pretty fast. There's quite a bit of things that you are involved with in the city. And I'll tell you what, I think we'll do all of that after we go to our break. For 2 or 3 minutes here, I want you to tell us a little bit about you. Where did you grow up?
Born, raised in Lebanon, Wilson County. Been here for 57 years now.
Where'd you go to elementary school?
Byers Dowdy.
Byers Dowdy. And then Walter J. Baird?
Walter J. Baird, then Lebanon High School. So I started to say I've lived just about in the same location for all my life. We have family farm. And when I got married, I built a house there, moved just as far away from mom and dad as I could without getting off the free land.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about your family a little bit here. You have a wife and children?
Yes,
Tell us, what's your wife's name?
my wife's name is Debbie Clark, Debbie Daniels Clark. She's owns one of the co-owners of Friends and Stitches on North Greenwood.
Mm-hmm.
I have a daughter, Carly Odom. She is in her 7th year of teaching English at Lebanon High School. And I have a son, Joey Clark, who about a year ago is working at Cumberland University in marketing.
Okay, well, so the 4 of you,
Yes,
Yes.
and then I have two granddaughters.
Let's talk about the granddaughters.
I started to say, Josie, which is just now 2, and then June, which is about 8 months old.
Yeah, okay. What'd you do after high school?
Very short stint at Vol State, and then went to work.
What did you do when you first started with the City of Lebanon? Or did you start with the City of Lebanon?
No, I actually worked for a couple of engineering companies out of Nashville before coming to the City of Lebanon.
Yeah.
I started in 1995 in the engineering department as project manager, sort of overseeing construction projects that the city had going on, obtaining easements, and handling, I guess, miscellaneous complaints.
Well, when did you get the job you have now?
When David Gibbs, my predecessor, retired approximately 10, 12 years ago.
So had you been working there
Well,
in that department?
no, I was still in the engineering department at the time, but a lot of the things that I did with engineering interacted with the public work. Well, at that time, we were all still the public works department.
Yeah.
And so we've still interacted a lot together.
Okay, we're going to be talking about a spring cleanup. We're going to be talking about streets and drainage and your garage and traffic squads and building and maintenance and a few more things with Lee Clark this morning. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:16, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator, plus 0% financing going on now until the end of the year. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're looking at this crash out here on the interstate. It's going to be 24 westbound at Bell Road. They managed to move it over to the side, but it's really got traffic extra slow now coming out of Rutherford County through this section here in Antioch on 24 westbound. It's going to be near Bell Road. Still trying to clean up this wreck where a vehicle flipped. 65 southbound is still crawling along. Over here at Trinity Lane. Keep that in mind as you come down from the north on 65 southbound again at Trinity Lane. Extremely slow. Nash Painting Services, all of Middle Tennessee. Check them out online today at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Live it up with the deal of a lifetime from TDS. Get symmetrical 1 gig fiber internet for only $59.99 a month, and the price is locked for life. Same price today, next year, the year after, you get the idea. Plus, no contract and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Future-proof, inflation-proof, super-fast 1 gig internet, only $59.99 a month for life. Life's good. Visit tdstv.com/lifetime. Internet speeds are up to and not guaranteed. Subject to availability. See website for details.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Again, if you just turned our way, we thank you. We do have Lee Clark with us this morning. He's the General Service Administrator for the City of Lebanon. And really, you're responsible for a lot of things. One being the spring cleanup that's coming here, which we want to talk about. This is something that's been going on for a long time, probably before you even began working for the City of Lebanon. And if my memory, I think my memory is correct here, at one time we took the whole month of April to do cleanup, spring up, had 3. I forgot what they were, but anyway, it's cleanup time, and you've got this into a 2-week window, and it's really the first 2 weeks of April, so we need to let everybody know about that. So elaborate on that, if you will.
Yes, sir. We have spring cleanup coming up the first two full weeks of April, which is April 3rd through the 14th. We'll make 2 passes, 1 each week across town, picking up anything that people set out by the road. There are a few restrictions, things that we can't pick up. We don't pick up any construction or commercial waste, mattresses or box springs. We won't pick up carpet or carpet padding, tires, hazardous waste, paint, or wet batteries. So
Other than that, it's pretty much okay.
pretty much we ask that, like appliances, we ask that the doors have been removed and the compressors have been removed from them. And to separate your material into wood, metal, or other items so that as we separate it out and try to get it to the correct landfill or dispose of it. But, the first week, we ask everybody to have it out by 6 a.m. on Monday morning because we'll start at 6 on Monday morning and just make one pass through the city. And depending on the volume, will be how fast we get to your house. So there's not a guaranteed day or time that we'll be there. We just ask that if you put it out on Monday morning, we'll get across town.
Well, is it possible you might get across town by the end of Thursday?
Well, and actually the first week, that is going to be our goal because Friday is Good Friday and city offices are closed that day. So the first week, we're definitely going to make a push to be through by quitting time on Thursday.
Okay, so then you'll kind of start all over, do it again the following
Right,
Monday.
right.
You I know you do quite a bit of publicity. You've got flyers out about this, and really, if people will just cooperate and put out what they're supposed to and not put out what they're not supposed to, it goes really well, doesn't it?
It does. It's a benefit to the citizens, I feel like, of Lebanon, and, the county and the county landfill. They've been, very good to work with on allowing us to bring the debris out to them. So it works great, I think, for all the citizens of Lebanon.
Well, what are your responsibilities as far as the streets of Lebanon are concerned?
Well, actually, we've got a street department that does several things. This spring cleanup is just one of the things that they do. We do the leaf pickup they do in the fall of the year, snow and ice removal in the wintertime. You never know how much of that you're going to get. Storms, the windstorm like we had the other Friday. There about 2:30 that afternoon, we started getting calls and ended up with 4 or 5 smaller trees down across the road. They go out, cut those up, do an excellent job getting the roadways back open because, you've actually got, in that department, you've got somebody on call 24/7 for weekends and nights because you never know when a storm or something like that's going to hit.
Yeah. Well, you've given me a few notes here. I think you were anticipating some of the things we're going to be talking about this morning, and I'm glad to know what you want to talk about. But as far as potholes, we do have some potholes occasionally.
I start to say we have our fair share of potholes, sometimes, especially depending on the weather and the winter. Yes, there can be an abundance of those. The guys also do patches when you have a water main break or a gas line leak or something like that after the utility departments repair or install whatever they need to. Street department guys come back and patch that.
Well, is it a good idea for a citizen, anybody, a City of Lebanon resident, you discover a pothole in your area? Do you like for that to be reported so that you know about it?
Absolutely. I mean, because we can't be at every street every day. If somebody sees something,
as soon as the phone rings, you're going to be there to fix it.
Exactly.
But at least you know about it.
Exactly, because we can't be everywhere at every moment. But yes.
Well, by the way, I just was handed a note that your aunt, and it doesn't identify the aunt, but she has called and said, thank you for having him on. So we got one listener this morning for sure.
That's good.
What about drainage issues? We do have some of those in various places throughout the city of Lebanon.
I started to say we have a lot of those with the topography of Lebanon. We have our fair share of drainage projects and problems that are in areas. And granted, we can't fix them all, but we'll try to help if we can. We can't really go on private property to do a private citizen's work. But along the road, along the right of way, or something that helps a large group, we'll try our best.
And I think we could talk about your garage. You've got here 600 plus pieces of equipment.
Yes.
Where is that garage?
The garage is over at the Public Works facility over on Park Drive. Yes, we mechanics there. Like I said, as the city's grown, as you can see, the growth all over town has grown as we've added, policemen, firemen, all the other things that we've added.
Do you have adequate equipment, really? Is there anything you're in desperate need of right now?
There's always something that we could use. I think what we've got, we get by with. We're hoping in the near future maybe to start looking at being able to build a new garage, a new modern facility to help. But right now,
Yeah, well, here's something else, and I wasn't aware that, if I understand this right, you're in charge of signal maintenance, meaning our traffic lights. If one of them goes out or has a problem, then it's you to come and fix it.
well, yeah, not me. As I say, I've got 3 guys in that department that, like I said, just like the rest of them that work with me, do an excellent job. One person's always on call 24/7 because, windstorm or just issues when they go into flash, power outages. But yes, we try to maintain those.
Well, we had some really strong winds, and it wasn't as strong here as it were in some other places in Middle Tennessee, I guess a couple of weeks ago. But was there any significant damage at that time?
I don't know that we had any significant, you always have those small things that are going to show up, arise that you're not aware of.
Yeah.
But yes, I think we were very fortunate in how we came through that storm.
But I'm just, I guess I'm really surprised myself at how many things you have something to do with as the General Service Administrator. So,
And like I said, the supervisors that I have in these departments and the folks that work in them are great. I mean, to me, as one of my departments had hats made one time, second to none. I think just about all the people that I've got in these departments are second to none. They step in. Some of the things I ask them to do, they give me a sort of a deer in the headlight look, going, "We're going to do what?" But then they're right in there with me. So, I mean, I just got to brag on them.
how many people are in your department approximately that you're responsible for?
There's probably about 45 to 50, and then during the summer, we'll pick up summer help for mowing grass, litter pickup, just summer help with all the things that are going on. So we increase a little more.
High school and college students a lot of times?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, that's good too. A nice summer job, and there's the thing about having a job like that. You have to. Somebody has to supervise them a little bit, make sure they're going in the right direction. But there's a lot to be said, I think, for that, and learning responsibility. That is a good job to have to learn a lot of things, really.
Oh, I start to say every day, that's one thing that makes coming to work every day fun, because you never know exactly what we're going to get into or what's going to show up.
And you're responsible for the airport, for the cemetery, for the train stations,
Yes, the
city buildings, and the road medians.
That's the mowing crew
Yeah.
with lawnmowers that take care of all that. Then, like I said, the street department guys come back and bush hog the right of ways outside of that, down Highway 70, 109, around streets that we don't mow with lawnmowers.
Well, you must be pretty good at delegating and having the right man at the right place for all this that you're responsible for. I had no idea that you were responsible for all of this, and that is to me is quite a daunting task just to think about.
Well, like I said, I've got a great group that I work with that really, like I said, take the bull by the horns and run with it.
Well, what do you do in your spare time, if you have any?
Well, in my spare time, I guess I try to spend time with the kids and the grandkids.
Yeah.
And we've got a farm. I guess that's my stress relief, is getting out, fooling around on the farm.
Well, what do you do with your farm? You raising cattle?
Raise cattle and hay.
Yeah.
Back several years ago, used to raise tobacco
Yeah.
and have a small garden.
Yeah. Do you Do you get out there and mow that hay yourself?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. Like I said, that some stress relief.
Well, I can understand that. I can. So you would call yourself a successful part-time farmer then?
Part-time farmer. We might leave the successful word out.
Oh. Well, I guess before you go, we could also mention your office staff. You have some people there who are very important to the part of the team, no doubt.
Probably the most important part that keeps the rest of us in line on answering the phones, getting the bills paid, getting purchase orders that we need, taking care of budgets, letting me know, hey, we spent all our money.
Well, I hope that the people who are listening this morning have a better idea of what the General Service Administrator, Lee Clark, does for the city of Lebanon and for all its citizens. And we'll end here in our last few seconds reminding everybody of spring cleanup again.
That's it, spring.
April 3rd through April 14th. April 3rd is a Monday morning, and you need to get your stuff out then. You'll go through the city that week, and then starting the following Monday, go one more time. So if you get missed the first week, it's not too late, but you need to have it out first thing that next Monday morning.
Yes, you got the second weekend. If you've seen us come by and go, oh, I've got something I need to get out, we will be by a second time that second week.
All right. Lee, thank you so much for being with us this morning. I've really enjoyed this. Congratulations again on getting the award, Chamber of Commerce.
All right. I thank you, Coleman. I appreciate it.
All right. That's part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more, so we hope you'll keep it here, FM 98.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's now 7:31, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford, the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $49.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now a traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a bit slower than normal on 24 westbound up through the Hickory Hollow area where we had that earlier crash that slowed down traffic near Bell Road. Again, that's still a lot of traffic coming in from Rutherford County in that area. On 24 going westbound through Antioch. Still slower than normal over here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. One vehicle flipped that's still on its side. It's not blocking traffic, but boy, is it slow on 65 southbound here at Trinity Lane. Snapdragon Hemp, serving up lab-tested top-shelf hemp products, edibles, flowers, concentrates. Order online today, snapdragon420.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. I think about my kids, my grandkids, and my insurance business. When's the last time you thought about having your insurance program reviewed? This is John Bryan with THW Insurance. We're an independent, trusted choice insurance agency representing several top-rated insurance companies like Westfield Insurance Company. Give me a call at 615-443-3849 for a no-obligation review of your current insurance plan. THW Insurance Services, serving Lebanon and Wilson County for decades.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
A.G. & Johnson is your experienced real estate and auction company, specializing in residential, commercial, and personal property auctions. Did you know that auctions are a fast and efficient way to sell your property? Auctions reduce time on the market and have an exact selling date. Call us for an in-home consultation today at 615-444-0909. A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main Street in Lebanon, or find us online at agandjohnson.com. Voted Best Auction Company in Wilson County.
Hello, Phoenix baseball fans. This is senior outfielder Santrell Farmer from Bardstown, Kentucky, inviting you to follow the Phoenix on the air and online this season. You can hear all of our games on either WANT FM 98.9 or WCOR AM 1490 or online at WANTFM.com or GoCumberlandAthletics.com. We hope to see you soon. Go Phoenix.
Warmer temperatures and clouds for us today as we get ready for the next weather front that will bring rain. Look for a high of 64 today with a moderate breeze bringing in some more warm air. We will fall to 53 degrees tonight, and Friday morning is looking rainy. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Number One Ned.
And we continue here on a Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. And now it's time to talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction. We've got Jay White and Helene Cash with us today. Helene, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Been a few days since we've seen you.
Just a few.
Hope you're, I know you're well, you're here.
I am. Thank you.
And Jay, good morning to you.
Good morning, Nagel.
Boy, you and I got so much to talk about this morning, haven't we?
We do.
You want to start talking about the knives? That's what we were talking about when the mic came on here. You've got this online knife sale.
We do,
Coleman. It is something.
It really is. It really is. We've got over 500 lots we're selling. It closes tonight. Starts closing this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So if you're interested in these pocket knives, if you hadn't been online and viewed them, you need to do so. But this sale ends tonight. It starts ending at 4 o'clock on what we call a soft close. And what a soft close is, if you're there and you're paying and you're looking at the sale, if you bid on a pocket knife or you bid on one of these lots, then if you raise someone's bid at 4 o'clock, then someone has 3 minutes to raise your bid, and then you get the opportunity to raise them. So we kind of call it a soft close. Okay. So at the end of the 3-minute period, if you're the successful bidder, then that's when that closes out and the next lot comes up. So we plan on, it could be a while if you some of these knives, but you need to get online and take a look at them. A very good selection of knives we're selling. Got a lot of people registered, so we're looking for a good turnout and a good return on those on that.
And you go to agandjohnson.com.
agandjohnson.com and register in. And you can pick these knives up Sunday afternoon out on Hunters Point Pike. We'll be out there Sunday afternoon. I believe it's from 1 to 3?
1 to 3.
From 1 to 3, and pick the knives up there on Sunday afternoon if you're the successful bidder. And so get online this afternoon and take a look, or anytime today. And if you've already been online, then today is the day.
All right. And then as great as this has gone and seems to going to be, you're probably going to be doing something like this again one of these days.
We plan to. We really do. We hope so, and in the near future. But then moving on from there, moving on from our knife sale, this Saturday morning, March the 18th at 10 o'clock, we'll be out in the, out on the west end of town. For Maple Hill Road and what do you the subdivision?
We have 217 Primrose. It's in Summercrest.
And on Primrose Avenue on Summercrest Drive, we're selling a nice home out there. Lots of personal property. This house is about 1,700 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. It's move-in ready. If you're looking for a home on the west side, it'd be a great place to be, a great subdivision out there in Summercrest. We've also got a lot of hand tools and a lot of furniture and the household items to sell out there. We'll be there most of the day, so come out and be with us on this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And then when we leave Saturday, next Wednesday, we'll be back out on Maple Hill Road.
Before you come back here.
Before we come back out, next Wednesday, we'll be back out on Maple Hill Road. A lot of you know Mr. Lewis Fletcher. He's been in the agricultural field here in the Wilson County for years. He was an agricultural teacher. He was an agricultural teacher down in Mount Juliet, and then he ended his career as principal here at, vice principal here at the New Lebanon High School, I call it, and he's retiring from his farming operation, and he has lots of good hay equipment and tractors and cattle working equipment and trailers, and come out and be with us next Wednesday as we liquidate Mr. Fletcher's farm machinery.
Well, with all that's there, I'm sure there's a lot of people going to come out there and see that it's something they probably need, and an auction sale will be a good time to see what you can do.
That's true. That's true.
You got another one?
Well, we do, but we'll talk about them next week.
Right.
Is that okay? We'll get Aline talk a little bit about the private side if she'd like to.
Yeah, as we like to say about Mr. Fletcher's auction, his retirement auction, it's going to be a great time, and just come out to visit and see all your friends and neighbors.
All right, great.
So we get a lot of questions about on the private side with the real estate with everything shifting and changing, all the wonderful interest rates. The interest rates haven't changed that much. We're very steady. We're very stable. Here's an indicator as to how the market is going. We had one of our agents let this week under contract 5 properties. Things are still moving. We're still selling. So if you're interested in listing your property, if you're interested in looking, it's still a great time to go under contract. It's still a great time to list your property. It's still a great time to get out there and start looking. The market is still solid. We are still listing properties. We are still having people moving to the area. We are still having people that are looking to upsize. We are still having people looking to downsize. Or just to find their forever home. So it's a perfect time to get out there and start looking. Especially, we are in the spring market. It is beautiful. It's a great time to list for spring.
What's involved? Just a phone call get you started?
Yeah, that's the perfect thing. Is just call us out. Give us a call, 615-444-0909. I'm a little rusty, Coleman. But that's the perfect thing to do. Just give us a call, and there's agents in the office, and if someone's not there, which happens that we can all be out with clients, someone will call you right back. We'll have someone call you and ascertain what your needs are, and we'll get you aligned with the perfect agent for you, because all of us have different talents.
Yeah.
And depending on what your need is, if you are a first-time home buyer, if you're downsizing, we'll find someone that really has a skill set that's best for you.
And you have a wealth of agents there, really.
Absolutely,
so
we really do.
It's most likely going to just about fit your needs.
Correct.
Okay.
That is what's best.
All right.
615-444-0909 or visit us online at agandjohnson.com.
Right. And A.G. and Johnson, of course, Realty and Auction located at 728 West Main. Jay White is the owner. And Jay, good to have you. Helene, nice to see you.
Great to see you,
we'll do it again next Thursday.
All right, can't wait.
I can't wait to hear how this knife sale turns out.
I'll give you a call in the morning.
Okay, that takes us about 20 before the hour, and Tim Leeper is here today. Tim, if you want to move over to Jay's seat, that'll be fine. Tim Leeper Roofing, and Tim has been with us for quite some time. You will find him at tim@timleeperroofing.com. He does not only the standard roofs, he does metal roofing, and that's actually a separate business called Mama's Metal Roofing, and that's www.mamasmetalroofing.com. So with that, good morning.
Morning.
And how are you?
Busy.
Busy. I'll bet you are. And I would imagine that the wind that we had the other day got a few more emergency repair jobs for you.
It did, and I don't think people realize, we had a lot of calls back in 2020 whenever we had the tornado, but we got more calls out of the straight line winds that we had because those winds were consistent all day long. Same with the other day, that the winds were consistent with gusts up 70 miles an hour, and they said it was the equivalent of a stage 1, whatever they call it, hurricane, because the winds just don't stop and they go all day long.
Well, so you're doing a number of repair jobs right now.
Well, we're doing repairs and a lot of temporary repairs for replacements because we're meeting adjusters as adjusters are coming in looking at some of these things. And I actually had a metal roof the other day. I was on top of the roof, and one of the panels had just completely blown out of the middle of the roof. And I got up there and looked around. We did a temporary repair for her. And then I could put my hand under some of the panels that were screwed down. The wind rattled those panels for so long, for so many hours, that it backed a lot of the screws out. I could pull some of those panels up with my hands.
Wow.
I left them down to let the adjuster see that, but we had a conversation about that when he was on the roof the other day.
Well, hopefully that is covered by most insurance policies. I guess all of them. If you have general property damage insurance, liability for your house, then that ought to be covered.
Hope so. We'll see how it goes. It's really up to the adjuster.
And of course, the fine print in your insurance policy sometimes.
That is true. I tell you what, now is a good time to review your insurance policies. A lot of people don't think much about that. They just look for, what their deductible is on their policy and how much it's going to be, and they shop it from place to place. But all insurance companies are different, and some have better coverages than others. Just like you wouldn't expect to go buy a 10-year-old used Chevrolet and then go to the Mercedes dealership and get the same quality of your car, nor will you get the same price. Right. So it's you really get what you pay for, and it's important to look at those policies and review them every so often, because there are ordinance of code and upgrades in your policy or not. And sometimes you'll even have higher wind deductibles, wind and hail deductibles, and sometimes you get caught flat-footed if there's a wind event.
You do need to know what's in that policy, and at least if you're not even going to do anything about it, be aware of where it might be short, so that you don't get caught and be in a big surprise.
Yeah, and there's a ton of good insurance companies in town that you can talk to. Our insurance company is here local to Lebanon, and we do work all over the state, but that's we always try to use people around here, and the coverages we have are great, and they reviewed our policy when we moved our policies to them. Saved us a ton of money, and so there's a lot of good that can come out of reviewing that policy. But if you don't hear anything else this morning, please listen to me when I say, take time, talk with your insurance agent. Now, you want to give them a couple weeks to let this storm die down, but when they have time, set a meeting, go in there and talk to them about your insurance coverage.
All right, Tim Leeper's with us. We've already reached the time to take a break, which we'll do right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator, plus 0% financing is going on now until the end of the year. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Morning cleanup continues on this truck that flipped out here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. It's not blocking traffic, but it's just in a terrible spot because there's so much traffic volume driving by and rubbernecking. That's why it's just crawling right now on 65 southbound here at Trinity Lane. 24 has got a lot of traffic volume making its way westbound. 24 up by Bell Road, Hickory Hollow Parkway, trying to get out of Rutherford County, coming down through Wilson County. Not bad right now on I-40 West, headed towards Nashville. Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Check out that menu today. It's so good. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and come down to Bates Ford and check out our new inventory we've got. We've got several new vehicles on the ground, plus we've replenished our used cars with several luxury Lincolns. On the service side, we got the Works package. That's an oil change and a tire rotation for the low price of $59.95. Will beat anybody's price on tires, and the cheapest battery in town. Come down to Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, or visit us on the web, www.tonybatesford.com, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
We continue here on this Thursday morning. We're delighted to have Tim Leeper with us today, and this is a timely program. I didn't realize, but when you stepped down here, I happened to think roofing, and I happened to think wind of a few days ago, and so you've already told us you are busy, and you can't do it all at once. I mean, I don't know how many people are in the repair business or whatever, but as much damage as we must have had, according to you and the other reports. Why, it's just not something that's going to get fixed overnight.
No, it's going to take a while. A lot of these processes are slow. You go out, and I get a call from, a homeowner on the east side of town, and I go out there and look at their roof, and they've got damage sustainable to to need a new roof, and so we'll temporarily repair that roof, be it a tarp or be it a smaller section of underlayment, and we'll get them dried in, mitigate their damages so the insurance gets there. After that, you got to get the adjuster to come out, then they have to write their estimate, then you have to match them up, and then they will approve it. So sometimes the process from the time of the storm to the time that you get that roof approved is 2 or 3, 4 weeks. So you just got to be patient.
Well, but I guess the good thing is that in most situations you can do some sort of temporary repair, something to get you by, to keep the water from coming into the house until you can get the okay from the insurance company and do all that's necessary before you really fix it.
Yeah, and the insurance company expects you to do that. That's your responsibility. They insure your home, but if you have damage and you just procrastinate or you don't get anybody out there and it rains again, you start getting more rain in your house, that additional damage, it's possible that they don't have to cover that if you haven't mitigated it.
Tim, I know you haven't put down competitors or others who are in this business, but one thing I would like to talk a little bit about here, when it seems like when we have some sort of a disaster, tornadoes in particular, but in this case it wasn't a tornado, but the straight line winds that were so strong and a lot of damage was done, that we kind of get, I don't know whether the word infested would be the right word to use, but a number
of
people
good one.
will come in and really it's questionable whether they're even legitimate, and somebody that you've never seen before, never heard of, will come in and offer to do your job, and we hear of a lot of scams in that regard. Address that, if you will. Some of them I feel sure are here to take advantage of an opportunity in a right way. I hope they are. But there's no doubt there's some who will demand some money up front and who may take off with that money and leave you hanging. We've heard stories about that.
Sure, the Better Business Bureau is full of those stories after a storm comes through. But, you have to think about this just for a second. Just use some walking around sense and think about these guys are coming in because they see dollars and paychecks, and insurance companies are writing checks. And if your motive is purely for money, then what do you think you're going to get if something doesn't suit them? If something's a little bit uncomfortable, if they've got to come back and do additional work, or if they've got to really think about, a warranty period, they're not going to do the best they could like if they lived in that community. If I get somebody that comes in here from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they're putting on roofs, they probably are going to do the best job they can because they want, to make as much money as they can. But the problem comes if there's return trips that have to be made. Are they going to come back from Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2 years when your warranty period's still intact and repair that roof? The answer is no. And so we get a ton of those calls after a storm comes through. We don't do all the roofs because we can't, but there's enough local contractors in this town that we can take care of the damage that's here.
Well, it certainly is. There's and here again, what you mentioned a minute ago, a lot of people might not know that the screws in a metal roof have come out, and that some of those sections you could actually pull off with your hand. I think that's what you said a few minutes ago. And a good roofer like you knows what you're doing. You get up there and see that, and here again, you may not can get everything fixed today, but at least they are made aware of it, and you do something to temporarily take care of it, right?
We can get the temporary repairs done, and we got, between Tim Leap Roofing and myself, we probably had, now keep in mind, not everybody needs a temporary repair. If you've just got a tab or two flipped up here and there, it's not really necessary all the time, so you don't always need it. However, there are times, when a storm hits like this, in the first week between my phone and Tim Leap Roofing's office phone, we got over 1,000 calls. And of those 1,000 calls, maybe 600 of those need temporary repairs. And of those, not all those are going to get a new roof. And so it's not like you're getting ready to get 1,000 new roofs. That's not how this works, but there'll be a bump and new roofs over the next 3-4 months out of the storm, and then over time it'll level off and it'll get back to normal again.
Will there be some people who've had some roof damage and decide to go all metal just because that kind of is a going thing?
Well, that's my hope. I mean, if you think about it, has there ever been a better time to upgrade a shingle roof to a metal roof than now? If you're going to get money from your insurance company and what an insurance company does is they will restore your property to pre-loss condition. Pre-loss condition means the day before the storm, it had a functional roof on there, and they're going to put back whatever that functional roof was. Be it a 3-tab roof, that's what they'll pay for. Be it a dimensional roof, that's what they'll pay for. But if you get money for a shingle roof, and you've got this pile of money that they're going to give you, what better time is it to put just a little bit more with it and get the metal roof that's going to outlast that next shingle roof 3 to 1?
Yeah.
It's really a no-brainer. I mean, you're almost getting a free metal roof out of it if you think about it. If I only had to pay $2,000 to upgrade a metal roof from a shingle roof from what they give me, and I can get another 50 years out of it with a little maintenance here and there, that's a no-brainer. $2,000 for 50 years worth of roofing is almost giving it away.
Well, if I know your phone's been ringing, but we'll give it out here. Cell phone is 615-372-4713, Tim Leeper. And, of course, Tim Leeper Roofing and Mama's Metal Roofing, 2 different businesses here, but both doing great, I think.
Yeah, they're doing good. And, it was good because it got slow for a while, but, we're used to that.
Yeah.
You can't get nervous about it getting slow or getting busy. You can't get stressed out about it. It's just how it is. One day in my life, I woke up and said I was going to be a roofer. And so this comes with that territory.
We got about 5 minutes left this morning. So far, all we've talked about is roofing, but anything Rotary-wise you want to talk about this morning, Rotary Club? Here you are still president of the Noon Rotary Club in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yes, sir. As I've talked about the last time I was on here, we've got what we're calling the Night Out with Rotary.
Yep.
That's coming up next Friday night, March the 24th at the Capitol Theater. It's going to start at 5:30. Talked to Sheriff Bryan the other day. He's going to have one of his deputies out there, just kind of, just keeping everything safe and walking around. And, of course, not that we get wild in Rotary, but, it's a night out, and it's good to have those guys, walking around with us. But we're going to have our guests that we've invited from our morning club and the noon club here in Lebanon. And, we can take up to 200, but we got to cap it after that because we have to stick within a budget. We just can't have an open-ended, event like this. But it is an event to celebrate and to show the things that we do in Rotary. Matter of fact, Judge Hamilton is going to be our speaker, kind of master of ceremonies, if you will, for the noon club, and Candy Partee is going to be that for the morning club, and they're both going to have time to kind of show and highlight some of the things that we have done as Rotarians, in addition to have dinner, have drinks, and have a band and dancing at the end of the afternoon.
So all of that coming up on the 24th, a week from Friday night.
Yes, sir, starting at 5:30.
Yeah. Well, what else you involved in you want to talk about? Or are you a basketball fan at all?
I don't know the first thing about it. I know there's 2 different goals for 2 different teams, and that's the extent of basketball that I know.
Well, you've made a little progress in learning there.
Marginal.
But baseball, college baseball especially, in full swing right now. Major League's still doing spring training, but I guess it's last week of March when they'll have that opening game in Cincinnati.
Is it? I don't know if it's last week of March, first week of April.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I think it's,
you're going to know way more than me.
I'm pretty sure it's the last Thursday in March.
Okay, good.
When they open. I forgot who they're going to play. I'm not sure, but anyway, the Reds will be opening as they usually do in Cincinnati. Last year, because the season started late, they opened for one of the few times in the history of the club on the road. But my prediction is they won't lose 100 games this year.
Well, I mean, that's it. That's setting the bar high.
I'm hoping Joey Votto comes back hale and hearty and healthy. And you know what I think would be wonderful if he got on a hitting streak. Joe DiMaggio, back, I think it was in 41, set the record for 56 consecutive games where he got at least one base hit. And nobody's really come close to that. Pete Rose got 40-something, I believe, and probably leads in the National League. But the baseball record, those 56 games, it may never be broken. But I'd love to see Joey Votto take that on and make a run for it.
Well, this year be a good year for it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we don't know he's even going to be back after this year.
Yeah, that'll feel it stands up. I need to get my brothers and my dad out to a game this year. I'd like to go up to Cincinnati and, maybe take the evening and do like an evening game, spend the night, to come back the next day.
Yeah, did that with my boys a few years ago, and it's very enjoyable. And they got a museum up there that we went to also. It's got all the baseball, got how many ever it was hits that Rose had. They got a baseball for each one of them in that museum there. Section that's pretty much dedicated to Pete Rose. Got to mention Cumberland for a minute. They've been doing well, and things are looking good. Ryan Hunt's got the Phoenix doing well, and of course we carry their games here. That's something you can do if you got an afternoon off or something.
I hear them every now and then. Most of the time when I go by there, I'm working. So, I'll hear them. I do some work out there on that street, and I'll hear them announcing, and I'll try to get up high enough to see if I can see the game, and most of the time I can't.
Well, Tim, thanks for being with us this morning. Tim Leeper Roofing, Mama's Metal Roofing. Tim, of course, is president, and does all the things you expect a good roofer to do. So, thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Coleman.
That's going to do it for a Thursday, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Friday edition of Coleman & Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous